through the use of this public information. All videos, songs, and graphics used in the video belong to their respective owners. I claim ownership of all produced video content on this channel and video. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing.
He spoke fashion. I'm telling he spoke fashion. I'm so bad. He spoke fashion. I'm telling he spoke.
Hello, hello, hello. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. I am the host, Dayline Thomas, and thank you for joining HeSpoke Fashion, which is women's fashion from a man's perspective. Listen, we have a great conversation in store for you tonight, a great discussion that we're going to have. We're so excited that you're joined. Listen, don't be selfish tonight. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit that share button. Go ahead and tell Lottie Dottie and everybody that we're live and we are just ready to just get into this conversation on tonight. Of course, we're continuing our discussion on the making of you. That's what we're going to talk about again on tonight. We had a very good discussion on our initial launch night where we discussed the making of you. And we want to go a little bit deeper into this conversation. Why? Why would you ask? First of all, I want you to understand that this platform is here to help not only you, but to help you to build your fashion sense, to help build your confidence, to help build your esteem. Listen, I am so ecstatic about everything that we're doing. I'm so ecstatic about the fact that you decided that you would join us on tonight. So let's get right into it. The makings of you. One would want to ask the question, when you talk about the makings of you, what helped you to become the person that you are becoming? Yes, I said becoming because all of us are yet to become what it is that we would truly become at the end. We are seeking to become something, and we're still striving to become something. And so what went into that? And then secondly, who influenced you? Who influenced you to become who you are becoming? And then thirdly, why did you choose that person or those people to influence you? What qualities did they have? What characteristics did they have? And I would suggest to you that for many of us, myself included, we had people that were in our lives that influenced us to become who we are becoming. They set us on the path to becoming who we are becoming. For me, as I said before, early in my childhood, it was my mother. It was my mother who taught me how to appreciate fashion, women's fashion. She taught me that. And so now I appreciate women's fashion. And on last week, I shared how there is a difference between appreciation and attraction, where a man can be appreciative of your fashion sense, but that does not mean that he's attracted to you. And I was conversing with a friend of mine, and I made the statement on last week, and they reminded me that I made this statement, and I want to make sure that I'm clear that most of us that are fashionable, we don't dress for anyone else. We dress for ourselves. Let me say that again. For those of us that are fashionable, we don't dress to impress anyone else. We dress for the approval of ourselves. Yes, that's exactly right. And so, although we dress for ourselves, it does not negate the fact that we appreciate compliments from any and everyone. And you know what? I started to believe this, that it is that the fact that we are looking to please ourselves, so to speak, in terms of impress ourselves. You get up, you get dressed, you look in the mirror, and you look at that reflection, and you're pleased with what you see. And then there is a confidence that goes along with that. There is a confidence. And listen, let me help you here, because that confidence is what men like myself love to see in women. I'm trying to help somebody. It is that confidence. That confidence. Let me ask you this question. What makes you confident? Last week I talked about what is that it dress. You know, when you wear it, you know that you are it. When you wear it, you know you are it. What is that article of clothing? Is it when you put on a nice pair of jeans? Is it when you put on a nice skirt? When you put on a nice dress, a sundress? What is it that gives you that confidence? Well, I want to share with you again that men like myself, and there's plenty, I'm not the only one, we love the confident you. That's the one that we love, the confident you. And let me tell you, there are some of you that are listening to the sound of my voice right now that are not confident. Remember I told you last week, and if you're joining us for the first time, it'll be the first time you're hearing this, but I called you butterflies. Butterflies. And I didn't say butter, I said butter. Yes, you're a butterfly. Because you can be butterfly at any size. And so when I said that last week, I made mention of the fact of the three stages of the butterfly. The butterfly is a caterpillar. Then the butterfly goes into isolation in the cocoon. And then the butterfly, through the metamorphosis process, comes out on the other side as a butterfly. Some of you, again, are in that caterpillar stage. But the goal, if you stick with us, if you stick with HeSpoke Fashion, it is to help you develop, into that beautiful butterfly that we know that you are to become. That's where we want to get you to. Having the confidence. Listen, let me tell you this, and this is very sad for me to have to say, but there are some men who prey on those who lack the confidence. Now, I know, listen, it's just us. I know there's the bro code and all of that, and I may be, going against the bro code right now just by saying what I'm saying, but I want to help you here. Some men prey on your lack of confidence. And you know when it shows up? You know when they can see it? No. It's not about your education. No. It's not even sometimes the words that are coming out of your mouth. No, it's not that. You know what it is? It is the way you dress. See, long before you ever utter a word, men, we're looking. We're visual creatures. We're visual creatures. Yes, we're visual creatures. And we're looking and we're looking and we can tell, you know what, she's not confident wearing that. And some men look at that as a go ahead sign for someone who's lacking confidence, someone who may be easily manipulated. Yes, yes. Listen, don't let the fact that you are educated convince you to believe that that means you won't be anyone's prey. Come on, come on, come on. Give me some claps or some likes or give me some hearts because I'm helping you here. Don't look at that and gauge whether or not you can be someone's prey based on your education level or based on your career. One thing that I know is that money plus success does not necessarily equal fashion. Yes, yes. I said something big there. Because many of us think that simply because you have money, you have a level of success, that automatically makes you fashionable because you can buy whatever it is you want. But I disagree with that. I disagree with that. And you probably disagree with that because you know someone who has the money to buy it, who has the success and able to get things and go places, but they don't have the fashion. They don't have the fashion. And so, again, we want to deal with tonight those things that went into making you who you are to become. Again, for me, it was my lovely mother. And let me tell you, my mother, again, she was a very fashionable person, but she was a very giving person. And when you are fashionable, you know one thing that you really adore more so than dressing yourself, it is helping someone else to be fashionable. Listen, I remember, and I had to be about maybe in almost junior high. And my mother had a good girlfriend. She was a colleague of hers. They were both educators, school teachers. And her name was Penny, Miss Penny. And Miss Penny and her husband had relocated from Kentucky. And Miss Penny was a young lady, young woman, newly married, from Kentucky, married a military soldier, GI. They moved, relocated to where we were, and my mother liked her and loved her, but she was not very fashionable. And, you know, back in the day, you know, if someone was from Kentucky, you could tell they were from Kentucky because perhaps their fashion sense was different. You know, we had individuality back then. And if you were from Dallas, Texas, then you had a particular style that people could tell perhaps they're from Texas. Everyone didn't look the same. However, Miss Penny, she was, again, newlywed, newfound career, starting her first teaching job, and she really didn't have a sense of fashion. You know what my mother did? My mother, she took some of her clothes, they wore about the same size at the time, and not clothes that she had worn. She specifically took new items. Grabbed my sister and I. We went over to Miss Penny's home, and she had skirts and blouses and jackets and little sweaters that she gave to Miss Penny. And Miss Penny was so ecstatic about the fact that she had this new wardrobe. And she loved on my mother for so long after that because my mother had helped her in her choices in fashion. Listen, let me tell you this, because I touched on it briefly there. There was a time when we rewarded and applauded individuality. And if you would look on the spectrum of things, you see it's almost cookie cutter. We started in real estate, everything was cookie cutter. You remember everybody's house, every subdivision you have, and you still do to this day. You have cookie cutter homes. This home looks just like this. This is the floor plan for that. If you have 2 or 3 bedrooms, this is the floor plan. And all of the homes are cookie cutter. Gone is the day of individuality. But I'm going to challenge you on tonight. I'm going to challenge you to grab hold to your individuality. Yes, resist. Yes, resist the urge to look like everybody else. Be your genuine self. Guess what? Let me tell you this, because this is women's fashion from a man's perspective. Let me give you a man's perspective. We applaud your individuality. We appreciate your individuality. Listen, I remember, back in the day when I would go out to the nightclub. And listen, I love to dance. I love to dance. And if you like to dance, come on, just put some likes and some hearts down there and there. Just share this and do that. But listen, I used to love to dance. I used to get dressed up, and I would go out to dance. Now, no. I know what you're thinking. I didn't go out just to pick up the ladies. No. I really enjoy dancing and the fellowship, just hanging out, meeting new people, being in a new environment, but getting dressed up. And what I really appreciated back then was the individuality of the people, of the women. Everyone didn't wear the same type jeans and the same type dress, and everyone didn't have the same type hair and the same type eyelashes. I'm going to get in trouble for that one. But listen, we applaud your individuality. We appreciate that. And so let that nugget just drop. Let me just drop that nugget in you. We appreciate your individuality. And so the next time you're getting ready to make that purchase, I want you to take into consideration who you are and who you are becoming. Listen, the makings of you. I've talked to you about my influence, and here is another influence that really, on my journey, this fashion journey, helped me along the way.
Introducing your favorite neighbor and mine, Miss Wilona Woods, played by Janet Dubois. Ever so fashionable. She's ever so elegant. Ever so fly. And never missing the beat. Miss Wilona Woods, played by Janet Dubois.
Wow. 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 Listen. Wilona Woods from Good Times. I was a fan. And I'm sure some of you were. I'm sure, listen, the obvious choice would probably be to Velma's character, but Janet Dubois played the role. She was so fashionable throughout the show. She was very fashionable. As you could see, every time she came in the door, she was impressive. And let me tell you, some of you, every time you could come into the door, you could be impressive. People will take note of your fashion sense. Just listen, look at this, look at this. I mean, I'm telling you, she looks fantastic. There's a split screen here, the tennis outfit, as well as the bell-bottom jeans. Come on, you remember when those were hitting? Those styles are they're coming back. They're returning. They'll go away for a little while, and they return. She was on the cutting edge of fashion with all of her choices. I was so impressed. Listen, a fun fact about Janet Dubois. I mean, of course, she starred in that show. She had some time on Broadway. She's, originally from Amityville, New York, right down the street. She's just a phenomenal actress, but she was a fashionista way before her time. I mean, look at this. I mean, let me tell you, when you put it all together, let me tell you, we men, we appreciate your sense of fashion, your sense of style. Yes, his name was Frank too. Yeah. I mean, what a wonderful, wonderful leader in the fashion arena. Listen, there were certain people, even back in that time, we were so privileged just to be able to see people of color on television. And what better way to grab some role models than through television at the time? Someone, again, that helped you along the way on this fashion journey to become what you are becoming. Let me tell you, one of the fun facts about Good Times that I didn't know was, of course, Esther Roll was the main character. Everything was built around Esther Roll. And I found out just through research that initially they did not want the family, the Evans family, to have a father in the home. Isn't that amazing? That they didn't want to have the father in the home because they said it really did not depict a ghetto family growing up in the ghetto. But it was Esther Roll who made the decision that you need, if you want me to star in this role, we need to have a father figure. And that's part of history. That a strong woman stood up and said, we need to have a man in the home. Listen, I don't know where you stand on that, but for that time, it was monumental for her to do that. And do you know what? Janet Dubois, you remember when Esther Roll's character departed the show. You remember she was allegedly on her honeymoon and she had married Carl and she was off. There was a contract dispute there. And that was about in the 5th season. Now, up until then, Wilona Woods' character, Janet Dubois' character, Wilona Woods, was a guest appearance. But during that time, that lovely woman, look at that hat and the scarf. Let me tell you, sometimes it's all in the accessories. How do you accessorize your wardrobe? We're going to teach you how. We're going to have, listen, we're going to have specialists. We're going to have industry experts come in. Some of you need a stylist. Some of you desire stylists. You say, listen, I have the money, I have the opportunity, I have the success, but listen, I need a stylist. And some of you just really can't afford a stylist. What we're going to do is we're going to provide some industry experts, some stylists to help you on this fashion journey. Listen, again, back to Wilona Woods. I mean, the character, she was very fashionable, very strong willed, and it did not just carry on television. There were certain other venues when she would be on the red carpet. And this is a much seasoned Janet Dubois, but she's still the fashion maven that she was on the show. You remember last week, and if you weren't there, just go back and review that show. But last week when I said there are some people that are on television right now that you would dare not dress like they are. So it's just not a given. But fashion gives you an advantage. And she definitely was the epitome of a fashionable woman. Listen, we've almost come to the end of our journey on tonight. I really want to thank all of you for joining us. We've had a great time together. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to go ahead and start following this channel. Set yourself up for notifications so you can be notified every time we come on. Yes, we're going to come on every Friday night, but there may be some things that happen that we want to come on before because we just want to share with you. And listen, on my next show, we're going to talk about this statement that I made. Does money and success equal fashion? Some of you watched the Soul Train Music Awards show earlier this week, and you know the answer to that question. We're going to talk about that right here on HeSpoke Fashion. Listen, before I go, And that's all we have for tonight. You have a blessed night, and we'll see you soon.
HeSpoke Fashion. I'm telling HeSpoke Fashion. I'm so bad. HeSpoke Fashion. I'm telling HeSpoke.
This platform discusses any and all information that has been published to the public sphere. We will engage our viewers through the use of this public information. All videos, songs, and graphics used in the video belong to their respective owners. I claim ownership of all produced